The year 1929 was hurtling toward its financial reckoning, but before the deafening crash of the stock market shattered the global economy, there was the quiet, unsettling silence that followed the vanishing of Dorothy King. This was not the loud, sensational crime of a strangled chorus girl in a Manhattan flat, King, nor the public terror of a mass murderer. This was a mystery of quiet intrigue, hinting at blackmail, hidden identities, and the sinister undercurrents beneath the facade of upper-class North American society. Dorothy King, not yet 30 years old, was a young Toronto socialite, though her background contained complexities that often attend those who achieve prominence on the fringes of wealth. She was stylish, attractive, and moved in circles where money, influence, and business secrets were traded as currency. Her family, while not among the oldest Toronto elite, had accrued substantial wealth, granting Dorothy entry into a world of exclusive clubs and international travel. She was the kind of person who seemed to possess secrets simply by being present where important men discussed their affairs. The events that led to her vanishing began not in Toronto, but in the bustling, often ethically murky environment of Chicago. In the late summer and early fall of 1929, Dorothy had been spending time in Chicago, engaging in unspecified business dealings or social obligations. This time in Chicago, just weeks before the great economic collapse, placed her close to centers of financial power and, likely, great risk. Her final confirmed journey began in Chicago. On September 25, 1929, Dorothy boarded a train bound for Toronto, Canada. The mode of transport, a Pullman sleeping car, was typical for wealthy travelers, offering comfort, privacy, and security, a fortress against the outside world during the long journey. She was traveling alone, a detail that immediately raised questions, though not one that was uncommon for a woman of her independence. The mystery began when the train arrived in Toronto. Dorothy King simply was not there. Her compartment in the Pullman car was found to be in order, containing her luggage and personal effects. It gave no sign of struggle, no sign of a hurried departure, and certainly no sign of a crime. She had not disembarked publicly at an official stop. It was as if she had dissolved into the atmosphere between the moment she last secured her compartment door and the arrival in her home city. The initial assumption by authorities was that Dorothy King had simply decided to step off the train at an unscheduled stop, or perhaps changed her mind and traveled onward. However, her luggage and possessions remained, indicating she had not planned a sudden, long-term detour. More alarmingly, her failure to contact her family, who were deeply concerned about her sudden silence, quickly raised the possibility of foul play. The ensuing investigation, conducted by both Canadian and American authorities, as the crime crossed international lines, became a massive manhunt. Detectives questioned Pullman staff, porters, and fellow travelers on the train. The consensus was fragmented and inconclusive. Some remembered seeing her in the dining car, others recalled her speaking with a male passenger, but no one could pinpoint the exact moment or the precise location where she had left the train. The focus narrowed to the possibility of a private transfer or abduction orchestrated during the train's journey. Pullman cars, while offering privacy, were not impregnable. It was entirely possible for someone to enter a compartment under the guise of an official, or for an accomplice to have traveled with her, only to facilitate her disappearance between stations. The motive for Dorothy King's vanishing was immediately tied by police to two possibilities, both dark reflections of the era's excesses: blackmail and financial coercion. In the weeks before her disappearance, it was revealed that Dorothy had been involved in highly complex, sensitive financial dealings in Chicago. Detectives learned she was privy to information, potentially involving influential individuals or even organized crime figures, related to illegal liquor smuggling, a common activity during Prohibition, or insider trading ahead of the market collapse. The theory was that Dorothy King was taken not for a personal vendetta, but as a lever. She was valuable alive for the information she held, or potentially dangerous if she was allowed to talk. The case gained brief but intense attention when a possible lead emerged involving a well-known Chicago gangster. Rumors suggested Dorothy had been involved in an attempt to smuggle valuable goods or liquor across the border for a Chicago syndicate, and had either been caught or double-crossed the operation. This theory explained the professional, non-violent nature of the disappearance, a professional extraction rather than a crime of passion. The police also investigated the possibility of a secret lover who might have persuaded her to elope or disappear voluntarily, but the abrupt abandonment of her luggage made this less likely. Her family remained convinced she would never have willingly vanished, leaving them in the dark. The most frustrating element of Dorothy King's case was its lack of a physical crime scene. There was no body, no blood, no ransacked room, and no ransom note. The train itself, the supposed location of the disappearance, offered only contradictory whispers from witnesses and an empty compartment. The investigation eventually concluded that Dorothy King was most likely either abducted for the information she possessed, or she was murdered, and her body was disposed of somewhere along the vast, desolate stretches of Canadian or American railway track, a vast, impossible search area that spanned hundreds of miles. The mystery of Dorothy King's disappearance at the close of the 1920s serves as a chilling footnote to the era. Unlike the explosive, immediate mysteries like the Hall Mills murders or William Desmond Taylor's death, Dorothy King's case was one of utter silence. She walked onto a train in one major city and vanished before reaching the next, her fate sealed by the secrets she carried in the golden, fleeting years before the world changed forever. No arrests were ever made, and Dorothy King's destiny remains one of North America's most intriguing, unsolved missing persons cases, a victim of the dark side of Prohibition and pre-Depression finance.